All right, so welcome back to the deep dive.
Glad to be back.
Before the break, we were talking about this lack of entrepreneurship,
Right.
and how Dr. Al Awadhi really thinks that's holding back the sector.
Hmm.
But what I like about this paper
Yeah.
is he doesn't just identify the problem,
Mm.
he actually gives some recommendations.
That's what you want.
Yeah, like how do we change this?
Exactly.
So organizations can actually start implementing these ideas.
That's good.
So his first recommendation is about forming a supervisory board.
Okay, a supervisory board.
Yeah, but not just any board.
Well-
He says it should be made up of innovative individuals and entrepreneurs.
Okay, so kind of a specific type of board.
Yeah, and I'm thinking for our listeners who maybe aren't super familiar with like the business world.
Right, not everyone knows how boards work.
Yeah, can you just break down like why that mix of people is so important?
Sure, so think of a traditional supervisory board,
Okay.
for like a charity or something.
Okay.
They're usually focused on like making sure the organization's following the rules.
Right. Making sure the money is being managed properly.
All of that good stuff.
The important stuff.
Yeah, but Dr. Al Awadhi is saying like we need a board
Yeah.
that brings a different energy.
Okay. I like that.
These are people who like shake things up,
Yeah, okay.
who aren't afraid to take risks and try new things.
I'm picturing like a real entrepreneur, you know?
And the go-getter.
Exactly. So they're not just asking like, are we doing things right?
Yeah.
But are we doing the right things?
Ooh, that's a good question.
And could we be doing them better?
So it's less about maintaining the status quo
Exactly.
and more about, like pushing the boundaries, coming up with new ideas.
Totally. Yeah.
Yeah, I could see how that would really influence the direction of the organization.
Oh, yeah, for sure.
Okay, so it sounds like it's not just about the board, though.
Right. The shift needs to go deeper. Yeah. What about the actual like staff?
Right. So his next recommendation is all about the management team.
Okay.
He says we need to diversify those teams
Okay.
to include both social workers and business professionals.
Both.
Yeah, both. And I really like that idea
Okay.
because it recognizes that you need both sides to make this work.
Okay.
You need the heart,
The compassion.
the passion of social workers.
Right. Because they're the ones working with the kids.
Exactly. They're on the ground.
Right.
They know what's going on.
They get it.
Yeah. But to make it all work,
Yeah.
you need someone who gets the financial planning, the marketing,
Right.
all that business stuff.
It's like, if you're building a house,
Okay.
you need the architect.
Yeah.
But you also need the builder.
Exactly.
You need both to make it a reality.
And they each bring something unique to the table.
I love that.
Yeah, shows how these two different worlds can really work together.
Yeah. I'm picturing these brainstorming sessions
yeah.
with these two groups.
I know.
Just bouncing ideas off each other.
And coming up with some amazing stuff.
Yeah.
Could be really powerful.
So this is great.
Right.
But there's one more recommendation,
Okay.
and I have a feeling it might be the hardest one for organizations to kind of accept.
Okay. I'm ready. Let's hear it.
He suggests treating charitable work, like projects,
Okay.
with structured business plans.
Yeah.
And I have to be honest, when I first read that, I was like, oh, really?
It does sound a little,
It sounds a little cold.
a little corporate.
Yeah, not very like warm and fuzzy.
Yeah.
But I think he makes a good point.
Okay, I'm listening.
Like if you're building a school or a hospital
Yeah.
or even running a feeding program,
Right?
why wouldn't you approach it with the same level of planning
Okay.
as any other big project?
You need a
You
plan
need a plan.
to make sure it succeeds.
And it's not about losing sight of the human side of it.
Right.
It's about creating a roadmap for success.
You need to know where you're going.
And it forces you to like define your goals.
Your goal.
Figure out how you're going to get there.
Yeah.
Measure your progress.
It's about being intentional.
Exactly.
Making sure your efforts are actually making a difference.
So instead of just like throwing money at a problem
Right.
and hoping for the best,
Crossing your fingers.
you're actually taking a more data-driven approach.
Yeah, you're tracking your impact.
And I bet that's a lot more effective than just like,
Just winging it.
yeah, winging it.
Totally.
And he even created a model business plan
Oh, really?
called Wildan,
Wheeled in.
which means servants of haven in Arabic,
Yeah.
that other organizations can use.
Oh, that's great. He's giving them a starting point.
Exactly. He's not just saying, you should do this.
He's giving them the tools.
He's like, here are the tools to do it.
That's awesome.
I think that's amazing.
Yeah, he's really committed to this.
Yeah, I'm curious. You've looked at so many organizations
Yeah.
and their approaches to problem solving. Are you seeing this kind of blending of like social mission and business principles in other sectors?
You know, it's funny you should mention that
Okay.
because I've been noticing that in healthcare, in education, even like environmental conservation.
Not only.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think there's this growing awareness that to tackle these huge problems,
Yeah.
we need organizations that can kind of operate with both heart and head.
Both.
We need the compassion,
Yeah.
but we need the strategic thinking too.
It's like a new era of social change.
I think so.
That's exciting.
It is. It gives me hope.
Me too, but we have to acknowledge
Yeah.
that there are some limitations in this research.
Right. No research is perfect.
Exactly.
Yeah, he mentions that he couldn't access all the financial data he wanted to,
Right.
and because of the pandemic, he couldn't visit the organizations in person.
Yeah.
So there are some limitations.
Yeah, but I appreciate that he's transparent about that.
Transparency is key.
It helps us understand the scope of the research. And it also, leaves room for more research in the future.
Exactly, to build on what he's done.
But I think one of the coolest things about this paper
Yeah.
is that Dr. Al Awadhi himself
Yeah.
seems to be like learning and evolving.
You mean how he changed his own business structure?
Yeah, because of this research.
Yeah, I loved that part.
It shows how much this work really affected him.
Right. It wasn't just an academic exercise for him.
Yeah, and it's such a great example of how learning can lead to personal growth.
And action.
And action.
Yeah, he saw what was possible.
Yeah.
And he decided to do it himself.
Exactly.
That's inspiring.
I think so too, and it reminds us that these aren't just ideas.
Right.
These are things that can actually make a difference.
In the real world.
In the real world.
Yeah.
I'm feeling pretty inspired
That's awesome.
to think about how I can apply these principles in my own life.
I love that. And I think that's a perfect transition
Okay.
to the final part of our deep dive,
Oh.
where we'll look at the broader implications of this new model
Okay.
and what it could teach us about balancing compassion with action.
Sounds good.
All right.